Alright everybody, what's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. I have a video for you. Obviously you can tell this is a ProTech SBR, and based on the title you probably realize I'm getting rid of it, and you might be asking why. So I thought I'd do not really a review, just kind of some thoughts to consider when you're looking at this knife. And yeah, so let's do this. Basically, I'm gonna give you the backstory first, but I, about a year ago, purchased a Norseman, and that was at Blade Show 2019, and I ended up finding that the Norseman, after a year, I realized that I really didn't like the blade shape, so I posted the Norseman for sale, and somebody messaged me, and they traded me a Koenigaris and some cash, and I fell in love with that Koenigaris. That's a absolutely gorgeous knife. It was a Gen 2, and I decided that I wanted to step up to the latest technology that Bill is putting into his knives, and I wanted a Gen 4. So recently I found a Gen 4, and I purchased that. I turned around, sold the Gen 2, and to also help pay for that Gen 4, I am selling the ProTech and one other knife in the collection. So I'm not selling this knife per se because it's a bad knife. I give you that backstory just to let you know that I'm selling this knife to help fund another knife, and I want to share with you the reasons why this knife got chosen. It's not that it's a bad knife, but me personally, there are probably two reasons that I chose this as one of the ones to sell. So I wanted to share that with you. First off, let's just look at the knife. Obviously it comes in a super cool package, magnetic, it's quality ProTech all the way, bag. Here's the knife. Super cool. Watch a bunch of reviews on this if you want to hear other people give reviews on it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you two things I love about it, and I'm going to tell you two things that weren't my favorite. They weren't really issues, and they were the reasons that I chose to sell it. So let me talk about things I love first. First off, this blade is awesome. It's just a gorgeous blade. It is a great designed blade, and one thing I like is it is a thick blade. I like the size of knife. This is kind of my preferred size. And I like it when a knife of this size has a decently sized blade, and a little bit stout. You know, I know a lot of people that want slicey knives, don't want thick blades, but for me personally, I like having somewhat of a nicer sized blade. It doesn't have to be crazy, but this was great. I really enjoyed having a blade like this. So that was one great thing about this knife. The other absolutely amazing thing about this knife in particular is the pocket clip. And it's not really just the pocket clip. It's the knife design and the pocket clip working together. Now, ProTech uses these same clips on their stuff. So a lot of their knives could equally be as good as this, or close to it. But if you look at the pocket clip, A, it's a nice pocket clip. Good design, has a little bit of character here. B, it's flush with the scales. So like they milled out the scale to seat the pocket clip in there. And that's a sign of an extra step that a company goes through to make, you know, it's the clip isn't an afterthought. I mean, they had to think about this with the screw placement, and they did a good job. So the next thing about this clip is the way that this knife comes together to a point, and it's a deep carry clip. I mean, this knife just disappears. There's a lot of knives that are deep carry, but coming to the point like this just makes this, in my opinion, as of right now, this is my like all-time best pocket clip carrying knife. Like it's phenomenal. So that's a big win for this guy. And again, ProTech uses the same clip design on all their knives, or most of their knives, and so you're getting the same quality, but they may have a knife that's a little thicker in the back or wider. This one just comes to that great point. So those two things are fantastic about this blade. Now, the reasons that I chose this as one of the ones to sell, obviously it's fairly pricey, so I can get good return on my investment here. But the number one reason, you guys can call me crazy, but first reason is it's an automatic. And you might be thinking, well, duh. I mean, you purchased a ProTech, it's an automatic. I wanted to try an automatic, and I wanted to try a ProTech because they are the best in the business. And so I did. And I have nothing really against automatics. I think they're cool. Me personally, though, I don't really get extra sense of enjoyment from it being an automatic. I mean, it's like, okay, that's cool. I like having one in my collection, but it's not something that I'm like, oh my goodness, I want a bunch of automatics, you know? So for me, it being an automatic can create a problem here and there. Now, in my state, it's legal to carry. So again, I was fine there, but in a lot of states, you can't carry this. So, and I know technically there's the chance of somebody knowing you're carrying an automatic is like 0. At the end of the day, but it is a fact. And so, you know, when I travel, this is not a knife I take on trips. You know, I have other knives that are much more suited for travel where I don't have to think about where we're going or, you know, pulling out a knife and being like, oh, oops, can't whip this out in the store because that'll be a felony. So, you know, because it's an automatic, it just kind of limits itself. And for a lot of people, that's kind of true. But so that's one reason. It's, you know, it's an automatic, and I'm just not a diehard, I need an automatic type of person. I probably will pick up the Boker Mini Kalashnikov. I bought that for my brother-in-law, and to be honest, I liked it better to some degree. Now, it is not ProTech quality. ProTech is top of the game. I mean, this thing is amazing. So, you know, if you want an automatic and you want a quality automatic, that's the name that you need to look at. But the second reason that this kind of got put on the sale list is the power with which this thing flings out. Now, that could be controversial because most people that I watch on YouTube are like, oh, it's so strong, we love it, it's great, that's awesome. And it really is, but to be honest, for me, it's a little bit strong. And I know ProTechs are snappy knives. I always thought that if they made this knife, and I'm pretty sure I thought this before the Malibu came out, but I always thought, man, I wish this knife were a flipper. Like, this is such an epic knife. The pocket clip is stellar. The size is awesome. The blade is thick. I just wish it were a flipper. It would solve both of my problems that I have with this knife, and it would be great. Of course, then they come out with the Malibu. So I am interested in getting a Malibu down the road to still have a ProTech because I think ProTechs are phenomenal knives. And I'm very proud to own a ProTech. And so that is on my potential list down the road. But this is just so snappy. I mean, I can hold it with 2 fingers, and I mean, it just flies out. And to be honest, if I'm at work and, you know, I'm gonna cut up in a box or I got whatever you got to do, if you're around other people and you fling this out, A, it's loud. B, it just comes out with such authority. You're gonna raise some attention, and I guess you can, you know, you can do it, but then what's the point of having an automatic? Like, I mean, you know, so it's just a bit hard. The Boker Mini Kalashnikov, I think that felt the best to me personally. I really liked how it opened. It's an automatic, but it just opened lighter, and it just didn't feel quite so, you know, angry, I guess. And again, I know a lot of people like that it is has some authority, and I think that's awesome that they have that, and that's what they're going for. So I'm not complaining from the sense that, you know, I think everybody out there should agree with me. I'm just saying personally, it's a bit hard of a spring for my liking. So those two reasons, the fact that it is automatic, and I can live without an automatic if I have to. It's just not a big thing for me. And the fact that it's such a strong spring kind of put this on my list of sell it to help pay for what I purchased. So there you go. Just things to consider. If you want an automatic and you want something in this size, I 100% recommend this knife, because it's just a stellar knife. Just keep in mind that it is an automatic, and so if you have legal limitations, you know, it could be a thing down the road. And just keep in mind it is a strong spring, so if that's okay with you, then by all means, this is the bomb diggity. This is an awesome, awesome automatic knife. Again, just things to consider. So thank you. I will hopefully have some more videos coming up, and let you guys see some more things. And I appreciate your time watching. I'll talk to you later.